Welcome fellow freaks, geeks, and nostalgic 90s nerds to my channel, Slime and Slashers, where, yep, we talk about everything from Nickelodeon slime to horror movie slashers, but lots of stuff in between too. But today's video specifically is one of my favorite videos ever! A vintage horror book haul! You guys know those are my favorite videos, and so here we are doing another vintage horror book haul. So right after this short intro, we'll come right back. I'll have my book cart over here, and we'll go through my vintage finds. Welcome back, guys! Let's get into the haul. I'm so pumped. Alright, so first I'm going to start off with just a stack of books. So I actually found a couple of weeks ago Brian Lumley's Necroscope series. So this is a lot of the books from the series, and so I found these and I just wanted to show them as like a stack. Yeah, the covers individually are cool, but I'm not going to go through them all one by one because lots of people are talking about these lately, so I feel like I don't need to show them. They've been shown a lot by other people, but I have them, so I'm just showing them to say I have them. That's basically the main thing. Alright, so now let's get to what's on the cart. And you know, usually I buy in person at a used bookstore. That's my favorite way to go and purchase these old school books, is by going in the store and finding these gems, and it's an extra special feeling. However, sometimes when the opportunity presents itself, I do buy online. And specifically, since I was getting these from a very good person, David Dodd, thank you Cameron and Alex once again for connecting me with David, and thank you David for selling me these because they were so very reasonable, because he cares about collectors because he's a collector. So he sells to other collectors at a good price. So all of these came from David Dodd. So let's dig in and see what I bought from David. First up, The Bridge. And this one's really cool. I love the cover. Hand reaching out, kind of vine-like things also reaching out of the musty water and the murky waters. This was published by Bantam in 1991, and this is by John Skip and Craig Spector, and I've actually got another book by both of those guys, and that would be The Scream, which I'll get into in a second. But just to finish up on this one, as you can see, there's the logo on the spine, and the spine looks amazing for once. I don't really have a lot of books with nice looking spines like this, so this was a pleasure to have a book like this. But yeah, I bought it more than just for the cover. I bought it for the story, because when David told me what was available, I looked up all the books, and this one's story sounded very interesting, so that's why I got this one, and also the other one I'm about to show you by the same two authors. So again, this is The Bridge.
When the great storm comes, the good life ends, and hell on earth begins.
Alright, so this is the other one I referenced and showed for a second, The Scream. And honestly, this one seems even better than their book, The Bridge. And the reason is just because of the story having to do with rock and roll, and it's just probably going to be amazing. So here's the description on the back. And also, let's look at the back before we dig into the description. You would think that this would be a die cut here, but it's not. It's just part of the cover, but this would have been perfect for a die cut, but it's not, alas. Alright, so the back says,
No one here gets out alive. They came to experience the ultimate concert, and that's exactly what they're going to get, because the band on stage wants more than their money, more than their bodies, more than their souls.
How can you want more than their souls? I mean, that's pretty hardcore to want their souls, but anyway.
It wants the world, and it wants it right now. The Scream! A rock and roll apocalypse beyond your wildest nightmares.
Fabulous. I can't wait to read this one. It's going to be awesome, I just know it. This is The Grave by Charles L. Grant, and when I saw that David had a Charles L. Grant book for sale, I was like, hell yeah, because I've been collecting Grant for a little while now, and I've started to amass a decent collection of his books, and I actually am going to insert some b-roll here of the whole row I have on my display back here of his books. I really like how they all look lined up, and I have more than just the ones on this little display back here. I've got others, but yeah, here's one that I'm going to add to it. This one doesn't really look like the others on that specific shelf, but still I like it. I like how there's almost like a tombstone and a woman's face lurking out of the tombstone, just staring at you. I like just people staring at you from the cover.
Oh, the grave.
So yeah, I like this. Muted colors, more so than some of the other covers I showed you in that B-roll footage, but still love this. Here we have a book from Del Abyss, and this one is really in great condition, and that's really the main reason I bought it. Once I saw this perfect spine, I was like, I must have it. So, and I also have a couple of other Del Abyss titles, and so I was like, it'll go good with those other ones, except this one is way better looking and in way better condition than those other ones, so this was a pleasure to find. This is Harrowgate by Daniel H. Gower, and again, just looks great. And let's take a look at the year. This was published in 1993. Again, the cover's really nothing too snazzy, just some eyes here, kind of peeking out. Still excited about having this one in the collection. Also pumped to add this book to the collection as well. This is The Year's Best Horror Stories, obviously a collection of stories by different authors. This was edited by Carl Edward Wagner, and obviously, as you can see here, this is the 8th book in the series. There's quite a few more, and I intend on adding to my collection of these because this is my first one, so I'll be on the lookout for more. But when David had this one for sale and it was in such great condition, I said I'm snagging it, and I did, and I'm so happy to have it. Let's take a look at the cover real quick. I really love how in the background there's all these rats just chilling on some trash, chilling in the alleyway. Then this guy is wrapped up in a sheet, and you could see kind of a grisly face peeking out from under the sheet, almost skeletal, but also at the same time ghostly.
Run, bitch.
This is Venom, published by Popular Library in 1977, and I really love the typography on the cover. I know it's hard to see because it's a little faded, but look at that. Look at that. Oh, it's glistening. It's shining. It's wonderful. This snake. I like the title the most out of the whole cover. Yeah, the kid's cool. I do like scared kids on covers, especially ones that are kind of subdued scared. Like, he should be way more scared than he is. He's been kidnapped. But literally, if you look at his face, he's just like,
please, get me away from this snake and these kidnappers.
So yeah, he could be a lot more scared, but he isn't. That's okay. Had to have it for the cover alone, and excited maybe to get to it one day, but if I don't, I'm just happy about the cover, nonetheless. Here we have Floater by Gary Bradner, which was published in 1988, and it was published by Fawcett Gold Medal. Kind of rough there on the spine. I really got this because it matches my Carrion edition that I have, which also has similar typography on the cover. Also has like a white face, but the Carrion cover is more like goo. The freaking British version is way better. Is way better of Carrion, but this one's cool, and I was like, well, it goes with the Carrion that I have, so I got it, and I like this because I like the dripping red. I do think that the font on this one's better than Carrion. So now we have a creepy kid again on a cover, and this one, there's multiple versions of the creepy kid. We have flipping a full face, a full body, and a half of a face portrayal of, I think, the same person. This is The Scene by William P. McGivern and also Maureen McGivern. So I don't know if it's a husband and wife or brother and sister, but it'd be kind of cool if they were a couple. And I just love this cover. This is one of the ones that David threw in as an extra because I said I might want it. Published by Tower. I really like the font and typography that the title is written in on the spine and on the actual cover, but I like how on the spine it's red against the white. One more time. And then the blue Tower logo is very bright against the white as well, so that looks really nice altogether.
Child of darkness, child of light, they turned her gift of prophecy into a force for evil.
Here we have another one that David threw in. This is A Stranger's Eyes, published by Jove in 1981, and this is by Bet Weiser. I just thought the skull looked very menacing on the cover. Really off-putting guy there. Skull guy, whatever you want to call him.
You've stolen another man's eyes. It began in the fiery wreckage of a plane crash when one man survived without sight and one died with a guilty secret. Peter Blanchard would see again with Carl Morris's eyes. He would love the dead man's beautiful wife Marcy, but was it his own will that compelled their passion, or a force from beyond the grave?
This is Still Life by E. Horlack, and it was published in January of 1989, which is the month that I was born, and the year that I was born as well. A novel of dark sorcery. And I do enjoy this cover, like I enjoy most of these old school horror covers. A girl in front of a fire, looking like she's practicing some dark sorcery or black magic. I think this sounds interesting from the back that I read, and I can't wait to get into it. And the back also has more illustration of like this nice landscape, which obviously the girl is, it kind of wraps around. The girl is in that landscape, so I do enjoy how it goes all the way around the book. Very nice touch there, very nice detail. Alright, and I already showed this one. This is The Anointing by Martha Maybe, and I basically just got it because, as I said in my little mini vlog that I did a week or so ago, that the main guy on the cover looks like Ric Flair, and I'm talking about Ric Flair the wrestler from back in the day, styling and profiling. This is kind of a poor man's Ric Flair because he's in overalls, whereas Ric Flair would be wearing a nice robe, or an expensive suit, and a really nice watch, and amazing shoes, but still the face and the hair is definitely Ric Flair. And also, it appears that this guy, just like Ric Flair, is a ladies' man, and he gets the ladies. They look excited there when they're reaching up for him, like,
date us or something. I don't know.
So it says,
High in the hills lies a world of untouched beauty, but in the dark the serpent lives. Who will defy his ancient power? Who dares oppose the anointing?
woo! Whatever. It's so dumb. Okay, and these next few, these are some gems here, and David gave me a great deal on these, so again, thank you, David, because I'm very excited to add another Ruby Jean Jensen to the collection, because I don't have very many. So this is Jump Rope by RJJ, as I mentioned, and it was published by Zebra. Wonderful Zebra title. Wonderful, corny, amazing zebra cover. Got a bloody crib, bloody jump rope here. Even some blood dripping on this nice heart-shaped looking pillow. Just love the colors. I really dig everything about this cover. And it's kind of simple, really, unlike some of the other Ruby Jean Jensen covers, but I still think it works. And actually, after I bought this from David, I went to an out-of-town bookstore in Mississippi and found another Ruby Jean Jensen book in person. So you'll have to wait for a future haul to see which one I found. But yeah, so I got more than one recent Ruby Jean Jensen book, and I'm so excited. Because for a long time, I couldn't find any of her books. Obviously, they're very rare. So to find one from David and then one in person in a short amount of time, I was like, what the heck? My luck's turned around. So I was very happy, to say the least. And this was published in 1988. Again, just everything about this I think looks really good and works all together. The red on the whitish, it's more cream crib. I think that really is a stark color difference. There's even some butterflies around this nice looking doll painting that's on the crib, and so it's just a nice contrast of like bloodiness and what's supposed to be a sacred, very safe place, obviously a baby's crib. So
Quiet child. Haley had always been the quiet child, the sensitive child, the secretive child, who liked to go off and play by herself, and so she never told anybody what she saw the day her father died, never told them about the red-striped jump rope wrapped around her father's wrists as he lay in a pool of blood. Or about the other little girl, the one who looked just like Haley, who had taken the jump rope and skipped away, singing a childish tune. Deadly child. Everyone thought it was a suicide. Even the police said so. After all, they hadn't seen what Haley had seen. The evidence that her father couldn't have killed himself, not with his hands tied, and Haley wasn't about to tell them. She was too scared of seeing that other little girl again and feeling the jump rope tighten around her own fragile throat. jump rope.
Amazing. Amazing. More wonderful finds. Just a spoiler, these next few will be all William W. Johnstone titles, and I've been into collecting his books ever since I read Toy Cemetery. Honestly, Toy Cemetery, if you want to go and hear my thoughts on that, I have a whole reading vlog on it. It is very confusing, but it's also fun and wild and wacky at the same time. Regardless, I love Johnstone's covers on all of his books. They are always pretty awesome looking. Like, I'm looking right now, I've got some more of his books over there, Carnival and Baby Grand, and some of his covers are just out of this world fantastic, like just another level in terms of the artistry that they decided to put on his covers specifically. But yeah, this is no different. This one looks really cool too, and I'm excited to keep adding more because even though the covers are what shine, I think that some of the books will be a lot of fun to read and see how more batshit crazy can he get. Is he really going to get crazier than what he was in Toy Cemetery? And will any of his books make sense? Unlike Toy Cemetery, which I feel like did not connect completely in some aspects with some of the story plot points, but we'll have to see, and I'm going to keep reading. I don't know which one my next one will be, which Johnstone book specifically my next one will be, but we'll see. Here I have Night Mask, and you could see this awesome head in a jar with a kiss on it. Flippin' awesome.
Pretty faces all in a row.
I guess on a shelf. Flippin' amazing. Flippin' incredible. There we've got an eye peeking out at you on the spine. I am so excited about this. The back says,
perhaps the most violent and explicit novel you will ever read.
perhaps. I like how they're not even sure on the back of the book. They're just like, well, perhaps. They don't want to be definitive at all. But yes, I am so happy about this. And I teased it, another William Johnstone book, and we do have one more after that too. This is Bats, and this one had a sticker on it, but I was able to get it off, and it still looks pretty darn good in my opinion. So I think it's in decent shape. Also published by Zebra.
They'd flown north from Central and South America, appearing one day in the southern wetlands of the U.S. like ominous ink stains on the twilight sky. With each sunset, more appeared, first hundreds, then thousands, massing into a great black cloud of terror. The vampire bats were beating their wings in time with the panicked heartbeats in the towns below. No one knew how to stop them as they fell onto their prey like dark, deadly shadows, but someone had to find a way. Because somewhere in the night, they had become a threat to more than wild animals and livestock. Somewhere in the night, madness took hold as these vampire bats developed a taste for human blood, and the feasting had only just begun. Bats.
This is published in 1993, by the way, and what can I say besides marvelous, creepy? I love a good creature feature, or you could call it an animal attack story. Books like The Nest, which is one of my favorite reads of 2021. I read it like at the beginning of the year and I freaking loved it. So if this is anything like that, then hell freaking yes. And I'm definitely going to be checking this out. Just don't know when. To round things out, last but certainly not least, another William W. Johnstone book. And yes, another one also published by Zebra, which you might have guessed by looking at this outrageous cover. This is The Sandman. And we could see the skeleton's wearing a little nightcap, holding a baby with a little bonnet, sprinkling some little night dust. You know, Mr. Sandman, put me to sleep and shit. So anyway, that's what he's kind of doing over there on the moon. Love this cover illustration. So Zebra, so zany. But unlike the amazing cover, I hear that the story itself isn't as amazing, that it's kind of like a dud, not the best Johnstone book. I probably will still read it one day, but until then, I'm just happy to look at this cover any chance I can get. Can't wait to display it. I just have to decide where I'm going to put this, because I've got like two major displays which basically show covers of books. The one behind me that I kind of featured earlier, I showed you guys that one shelf, and then there's a spinny one that I've never really shown you guys that I'll have to show you one day and do a little like tour of it. But yeah, I can see the covers over there, so I might have to take one of the books that is on the spinning one off and put this one on so I could see the cover all the time. Otherwise, on like, you know, an actual bookshelf, all you could see is the spine. The cool thing about the Zebra books though if they are on a bookshelf, a lot of them have a picture on the spine so that you can see a little glimpse of the flippin' fantastic over-the-top cover art. So that's cool too. Alright guys, well that was my entire haul. I know it wasn't super long like it usually is, but I figured I have so much other content coming up. I just wanted to film a really quick little haul video because I know you guys like it so much. I like it a lot because these videos are fun to make with all the video effects and the sound effects and all of that. So, but don't worry. Even though I have plenty of other content to come that's not really haul related, it's more Halloween related, it's more horror movie related, and it's more kind of book vlogging and shopping vlog related, but there will be hauls sprinkled throughout, so I figured I might as well toss one in right now while I can, and there's plenty of other books to haul because I've got a whole box sitting over there waiting, just waiting to be hauled, so plenty to look forward to. So there'll still be haul videos to come, just I'm doing a short one for today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please consider leaving a like because that helps so much with the analytics and the algorithms. Every like counts, but also I love to hear from you guys and chat back and forth. So if you want to leave a comment too, that is always fun. I like to see what you guys have to say. Do you guys like any of these books that I showed? Do you own any of them already? Have you read any of them specifically? Because I'd love to know what you thought about any of these if you had already checked them out. And as I say at the end of every video, thank you guys so much for spending your time with me. I know it's valuable and you choose to take the time and watch my videos. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It means the world. You guys rock. But for this time, that's it for me. Till next time, keep on killing it. Bye guys.